On today's show, what do gamers truly prefer? Console or mobile gaming? We're joined by Markus McCracken and Michael Feir to share their insights and perspectives. Plus, let's find out if the Tim Hortons holiday food and drink lineup is really worth the big hype that's going on out there as we taste their Bailey's offerings with Chef Mary Mammoliti when she joins us. Decisions and more decisions on today's show. Oh boy.
This is Kelly and Company.
Man, the head is spinning as we welcome you into the program, ladies and gentlemen out there checking us out maybe via YouTube, the podcast, or on AMI Audio where you can hear us multiple times as we were repeated on the channel debuting at 2 p.m. Eastern weekdays. Ramya Amuthan is here and Nisreen Abdul-Majid is here. And I have never seen these two so excited for taste testing. Wow.
Yeah.
Hi.
Yeah,
Yes.
we get to work, Andy. Sign me up.
A rarity.
Yeah. And eat on camera and wipe our
And people
faces
have
with
no
paper
problem
towel.
with it? Exactly.
Good quality paper towel, by the way. Got to shout out my
Very
paper
much so.
towel.
Nisreen, did you get yourself paper towel? You're all set?
I got tissues because I ran out of paper towel, but we're gonna be fine. We're
Oh,
gonna be fine.
Okay.
I'll sweep whatever.
okay.
Because I'm
Bringing
a
in the
clumsy
real
person.
life
I'm sure
stuff.
half of it will be on the ground.
When did you run out of
So
paper towel? Tell us.
last night, let's talk
You
about that.
sure? Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Mm.
So you don't just live on
I
paper
didn't
towel
start
less life.
spilling. No. We go through paper towel so fast.
Uh-huh.
Again, I'm a clumsy person. I spill a lot. I break a lot. But
Oh,
yeah,
break as well.
break a
Okay.
yeah. Are you surprised?
Where you got to get down
I
on the floor and wipe up in the kitchen kind of thing, you mean? That kind of breaking
Yeah,
paper towels things stick to? Uh-huh.
It's good you
yeah.
don't have
That
pets.
yeah.
Your
That would
pets
be
would be
much
doing a lot
worse.
of vacuuming. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Do you
Some
guys
people
eat
like
like
that.
on the couch and in bed and stuff like that?
No,
Like do you
no,
snack in bed?
No.
Oh, really?
Oh
Okay,
Okay.
this is
God.
a good
Oh.
conversation because I cannot stand people who eat in bed. Like
Like,
when
is
I
it
used to live with
every
my
single kind of
sisters,
thing?
when I used to live
Everything.
with my sisters, I would make that
Mm-hmm.
a rule. Like, if you sit on my bed, there's no crumbs, nothing like that.
Are you
In my room,
serious?
it's not allowed. Chips, nothing.
When I was at the blind school, we had to keep people from doing that stuff, right? Because you'd go down the canteen, come up with a bag of salt and vinegar chips, sit on someone's bed, or no one crunching away,
Chips
and the
are the
stuff is
worst.
flying everywhere.
Chips are the
You get
worst.
in
Yeah.
But how
bed and
about
you
like
find them.
almonds or wrapped chocolate
No,
bars?
because if you drop
Really,
something,
No.
don't find
guys?
it. That just invites a visitor.
So do you have TVs in your
Yeah.
room?
Yeah,
Okay.
I have a projector. We use a
Okay,
projector,
wow.
but
same
First
thing,
of all,
right?
Nisreen, that seems like a serious upgrade.
Okay,
But so you
here's
have
my
TVs and projectors in your room and monitors to enjoy yourselves and have entertainment, but no eating in bed
right.
while you
Yeah,
watch TV.
Okay,
Are you
but
that's
are
serious?
there would you suggest that everything you watch you should have food in front of? I don't mean every show, but because there are
Absolutely,
some
without a
things that
doubt.
like sports and movies to me, you
I
probably
do
should eat in
feel
front of.
snackish though. Like when
Of
I watch
course, we're
something, I do
conditioned.
feel snackish.
In front
Can
of
you sit
any
at a movie
show?
theater? Yes. Can
See,
you
to
sit at a
me,
movie
in a
theater
movie
without
theater,
popcorn?
no,
No,
that's what I'm saying.
that's
Right.
Or
different.
Well, I
sports,
have conditioned myself at home that if the screen is on and I'm looking at it,
your
there's a
face
snack
is
in my
being
hand.
filled.
My face is
Okay.
moving. Yeah.
Mm.
So since we also got this food ordered today, I do want to bring up before we move on because we do have a packed show and we got to move on. But I would love to know in your takeout packages, did you get napkins?
No,
No.
No.
I think I
Tim
Don't
forgot
do it
Hortons.
to
anymore.
press the
I did
get
what?
utensils or something like
Yeah.
that.
Now
Really?
by
I didn't
default
know
you
that.
have to press the utensils button or like
Yeah,
Oh,
what is it? Like give me utensils and napkins button
wow. Okay.
or else
yeah.
you
Yep.
don't get
I
it.
know what button you mean. Really? Okay. That's then my bad because I just thought Tim Hortons has started to do this whole thing. Oh yeah.
Ah.
I mean, I've gone through with people in the drive-through, and if you ask them, you have to ask them, and they'll say it's in the bag. You open the bag, and no, it's not. It's hit and
Or
miss, and
or they give you one. You ask for
yeah,
napkins and they just give
yeah,
you
one for the
one.
carload.
That's like a whole
Can't you
different
guys
conversation.
split
Like
it?
don't be stingy. You know
Yeah.
I need more
Oh
napkins
man.
for this
It'll be
donut.
Well, the
fine.
person who's serving you must be theirs. They bought them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Oh, I'd like to welcome in Amy Amantea, who joins us on the program today. She's our arts and cultures contributor. Aim, have you noticed this lack of willingness to hand out napkins when you do get food?
Absolutely. I'm like Nazreen. I will spill stuff everywhere. You can't take me anywhere. So
Yeah.
I need
Yeah.
more than one napkin.
Stains all over my shirt in the first hour of our
Mhm.
outing. It's okay. We're
Yep.
just gonna move past that.
That's
I know what
a thing
Yep.
a lot of blind people really get worried about that, right? Like I know I get very paranoid that I get something on my shirt. Am I going to go out with something on my shirt? Because we just
Mhm.
don't have the concept. And even if someone says, "Oh, you got a little something on your shirt," in your mind, that's a stain that's like 5 inches around.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm always a little worried about that and the stigma that it puts like on the whole community if I walk out with a stain on my shirt. Like I'm the representative of every blind person. And it doesn't
Yeah,
really matter
shame.
how like careful I am. There's always something that's gonna fly off of my food and land on my clothes.
Of
It's like
course.
a
Man.
Murphy's Law thing.
Yep.
Of course.
Yep. Well, this is going to be the fun thing with Nisreen later when all of her donuts all over the place, right? When it's just like,
Aw.
rolling
Ironically,
left,
it's gonna be
right,
you and
east,
I
north, and
with
south.
chocolate all over our faces and whipped
I
cream.
got a fan on in here. It'll blow everything all over the place. Amy's been messing around a little bit with AI and has discovered a real clever way in which it can assist in creating a last-minute, totally free and customized gift for anyone. And Amy, you don't even need to send this by mail. What's
No,
what you've been exploring and why?
you can send it by email. Yeah,
Yeah.
well, this came to me from our friends, Christine Malik and JJ Hunt as we're preparing a surprise holiday episode for Vocali next Wednesday, and, that always has fun, kitschy little holiday things, and we thought it would be fun to create some customized songs. I had never listen, I'm a little bit of a Luddite with technology, but also not really on the AI wagon fully. So I dabble here and there, but they gave me this idea to play a little bit with AI. So I'm using this website called uh, Suno, SUNO.com.
Mm-hmm.
And it's free. You only get 10 credits a day for free, so you can make, only 3 or 4 songs. But that's okay. You just have to wait 24 hours, whatever. So time it properly. And you give it a couple of prompts, right? So if you know something about people, you give it a couple of prompts and it'll tell it what kind of song style you like and it generates this song. And I mean, you can get really sophisticated with it. You can customize your own lyrics if you wanted to. But really,
Mm.
all I did for these songs and for what I'm creating is just giving it generalized prompts and hitting like create just to see right off the bat what it creates.
So
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 do you
yeah,
fun.
want to, when we play these, when you
yeah,
give Mark a cue, do you want to tell us about the prompts before or after? Like what you may have.
Hmm.
sure, yeah. Do you want
Yeah,
to start with yours, Kelly? I can share
sure,
the prompts
sure.
with you.
Yeah, do you want to
Okay.
share them before or after? You
I'll
want
share
people
them
to hear it?
after. I'll share them
Okay,
after.
okay.
Okay.
So what
All
So
right,
we're gonna
Mark.
listen to kind of like the first verse and chorus of each one because they're 2+ minutes, but
Yep,
we'll get the gist. They're
Yeah.
you'll
really
get the
good.
gist.
Okay, Mark.
Okay.
Fire away, Mark, with the Kelly one.
Kelly never believed in old Saint Nick. Said it's just a story, just a trick. This year when he came back home, things got real and he wasn't alone. 20 years old, a skeptic so cold. Spiked hot chocolate made him feel bold. He stumbled to bed with a dizzy head. Woke up to something under his spread. Santa in the room, chuckling with glee. Ho, 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 he said so clearly. Kelly rubbed his eyes, checked his surprise. Turns out disbelief was a big old lie. Down at the fireplace, the stockings were hung. Carrots
Okay.
on the plate and bells were rung.
I love it. That's
Carrots
just
on the
fast.
plate?
Wow,
Who put the
that's
That's for
carrots
the
really
on the plate?
fascinating.
reindeer.
Yeah.
That's
Oh,
for the
okay.
reindeer.
Yeah, do you
Sorry.
I
mind?
love the lyrics.
I
Yeah.
never listened after like the cookies for Santa. I didn't realize we were leaving
Santa's
food
on
for
a
everyone.
diet. So this one
Uh,
I took
oh, go ahead, Aim.
what? So this one I took kind of a storytelling prompt. So you can prompt any way you want. And I just thought, okay,
Uh-huh.
let's say Kelly was coming home from university and he never believed in Santa Claus his whole life, and now he's coming home to, back to his childhood home, and all of a sudden he wakes up in the middle of the night and there's Santa Claus, and he's meeting Santa Claus for the first time as a college age person. And after he meets Santa Claus, he sits around and he has a drink with Santa, a spiked drink with Santa, and
Ooh.
they basically talk about all of the toys that he had growing up. So it didn't accept
Aw.
all of my prompt, but this was kind of the basic storyline that it was going with. So
Okay.
that's what it came up with.
Do you
I
know
am
why it
quite
doesn't
impressed with
accept?
the country.
Me too, and the voice, and like totally love the
Yes.
voice in it. Really. Do you know just quickly how come it might not have taken some of the other prompts? Just couldn't use them, didn't use them. Any idea?
Yeah, so it only actually allows 200 characters, and I
Ah,
had
okay.
typed out 200 words. So when I
Ah,
I type it I typed it in a Word document so I could keep track of the word count, and then I copy pasted it into the website, and I didn't realize that it hadn't copy pasted the whole thing. So,
okay. Oh, that's
there you
cool.
go. So it's 200
Who
characters.
do you want next?
How
Oh,
about
me.
Ramyo? Yeah,
Yeah.
why don't we see what Ramya's song sounds like?
Ramya loves her stories deep, lives in worlds where dreamers leap. Santa brought her books and ink, but blindness made her spirit sink. Pages crisp but words unseen, silent tales and Christmas green. Boxing Day with a sleigh in tow, Santa's here to steal the show. Books on tape for Ramya, hey, audiobooks to save the day.
To save the day.
Christmas safe from print and glare, Ramya's joy fills the air. Santa fumbled but he
Oh,
learned.
that beat drop. Excuse
Yeah.
me.
His red where paper
It reminds me of a
burned.
Hallmark movie. It
Are you
really
kidding
does.
me?
It's like the
This
Ramya
is a
books.
pop
The
jam.
audio. I can only imagine. Well, I mean only the story.
What?
I can only imagine, Aim, what stuff you put in there. Ramya audiobooks, like totally
Yep. I
AR
was so sad
vibe.
about my sight loss though in the beginning. That
I
threw me
know,
off.
right?
Wow.
But I told myself I was only going to go with the first prompt and not adjust it. But I too was like,
Oh.
but
Okay,
there
so
you
like
go. So
whatever it comes out with. Okay,
whatever it comes
okay.
out with the first time, just to see what the
Mhm.
first attempt was. But this was mixing storyline with a little more
Mhm.
specifics. And
Ah,
so young Ramya on Christmas Eve, there's a mix up on Santa's list and gives Ramya print books instead of audiobooks. And so her Christmas is ruined. And then on Boxing Day, Santa's so upset about it that he brings her audiobooks,
Audiobooks.
um, yeah, as an
Love it.
Books
apology,
on tape.
and yeah, books on
Yeah.
tape. So there you go.
It was honestly
So
super catchy though.
can you pick the
it is.
genre?
Of music?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Did you do all
Okay.
that? Okay.
Yeah, you put it into your prompt, right? So,
Wow.
I
um,
see.
write me a song in country pop with Ramya who loves books, blah blah blah. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Love
Okay.
it.
Well,
So
both so far are jams. The
yeah, I
country
think
and
so.
the pop.
Can we try it the other way around? What did you put in for Nizreen before we hear the song?
Sure. So for
Mm.
Nizreen, and I was actually a little bit worried that AI wasn't going to be able to pronounce either Ramya's name
Oh,
or Nizreen's
Yeah, I
name.
was
yep.
wondering about
So I,
that. Phonetics.
so I thought, do I have to spell it phonetically? But I
Mm.
didn't, and it pronounced both of your names correctly. So
Okay, good.
Ooh.
Yeah.
way to go,
I love
AI.
the teas.
For Nizreen, I just put bullet points instead of putting full sentences. So I
Right.
put in DJ, I put in fashionista, I
Aw.
put in I
Aw.
put in a basic storyline about DJing a show, and the power goes out, all in bullet points,
Oh
and the
boy,
people are
my
upset.
nightmare.
I
Yeah, the
love it.
people are upset,
I love it.
Nightmare.
and
My
Oh,
and
nightmare
you
into a song.
yep, and you ask a holiday Christmas fairy to save the day, basically.
Oh god.
Aw.
I love the
And
okay. Let's
cheese though.
I asked
now
it to
let's
be in techno.
Okay.
and let's see how it
Ooh.
goes. All right, Mark.
Knees lean on the decks, beat so electric. Christmas lights glowing all eclectic. Parties jumping, people in a spin. Techno vibes pouring in. Then a blackout darkness fell. Music died, silence to dwell. Partygoers' faces turned to gray. Holiday joy seemed miles away. Miss Green, don't you stop the beat. Summon magic right off your feet. Call the holiday very near. Bring the sound, bring the cheer. In the night, a twinkling glow.
Again with the beats. This one's my
I
favorite.
know.
This one's
I
my
love
favorite for
it.
sure.
I thought it was just so Nazreen when it started, and I started
Yeah.
with that one earlier, the first one. I wonder how it'll be, and it's just totally, and that's what made me
Got the
want to know about the
dance.
prompts. Aim. That was what I
Mm,
wanted to know, what you would put in, what you could choose and couldn't. That is awesome.
yeah.
Thank you, Amy. Those are nice Christmas
Love
treats.
it.
Yeah,
Me too.
happy holidays to the three of you.
Yeah,
Oh,
well,
we're gonna
that's
go
wonderful.
There you
experiment
go.
on this for sure. What'd you say the
Oh,
program was called again?
It's called Suno, SUNO.com.
Okay.
10
Mm.
credits a day. So calm down. Just
Uh-huh.
gets only so excited
I
until
only
you
know like 10
figure
people.
out the
It's fine.
system. Aim, do we want to hold off on your item in case we get them on as a guest and maybe save it for
Yeah,
later, or do we want to talk about the parade?
Just
I
shout them
think
out
let
though. Be
yeah, well
nice.
there's a parade in Kelowna called the Parade of Purpose. And it is a beautiful parade. Check it out. It's happening this Sunday and it's done in the dark. So
Oh,
Mm.
wow.
all the glowing Christmas lights and all that kind
Yeah.
of stuff down the street. So over 40 floats and different things. It's really beautiful and they're raising money. They want to hit $250,000 for youth and for drug recovery because this particular family had two people in their family die of an accidental drug overdose on the same day.
Oh my.
And yeah, and so that's why it is the Parade of Purpose, and it's their 5th anniversary. So I think every year the idea now is that a new charity every year will be chosen, and they're at about
Beautiful.
$165,000 right now.
Mm.
Wow. Congratulations to them. And I mean, again, it's amazing the stuff that's born, or the causes that we hear about, and the tragedy that may spur them on, but hopefully help so many others. Thanks, Aim.
Absolutely, yeah.
So we may not see Amy on the stages at the Grammys, but this AI song stuff was definitely so much fun to play with and so flattering. So I think you
Mhm.
guys now, some last minute gifts. I can just hear the wheels now as the hamsters are running, that you
Speak for
could
yourself. Mine was a
create.
little whiny.
You thought
Didn't you not
your
think?
was a little whiny. Okay, so
No.
now that
Yeah.
Amy's gone, are you going to say all this stuff now?
No, I was just
Yeah.
saying, okay, yours was
Wow.
flattering. The screens was definitely flattering. Mine
Well,
was
I
a
don't
little
know.
like,
Mine, I felt like a
oh,
whiny guy
wah,
complaining
wah.
about, because I mean, I was a call. I felt like
No, you're a
complaining
cynic.
about.
It
Okay,
suited your
but
personality.
and Santa showed up and kind of had something to say about it all. But I'm not going to go giving Santa alcohol. The guy's driving. Come on.
I mean, you were just bonding, right?
Yeah, I guess so. But I
Yeah.
would have put basketball or football. Well, maybe not in the middle of the night. There's no
You would
games
have
unless I'm
slept
looking
through
at
that.
Japan or something like that.
Mm.
Yeah. For 5 minutes, I would have slept probably. While he
Nice.
left me all sorts of stuff. So you
Sure.
felt,
But mine
how
was a
did you
little
word yours?
sad.
Sad?
It was a little
Yeah.
No.
sad. Nisreen's was
I,
great. Nisreen's was my favorite.
I
well,
was
but
bopping
Nasreen
to
becomes
every
the
single
hero.
one of 'em.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I loved it.
That's
I'll
my
be honest.
nightmare into a song.
Well, I'll
I'm
tell you,
like,
I just was impressed. And again, I don't think it should be as surprising, so I think it's a bit silly to say it in a way, but how it handled your names. But we have to remember, it's not really like your names aren't common throughout the
yeah,
world.
No.
yeah.
Maybe in Canada, but it's not like it's sort of like the way North Americans feel about John Smith.
Yeah.
Like,
Mhm.
it's not like they're uncommon names. So it would make sense. We forget how this world has become so small. So I find that amazing. But yeah, Niz, I give like real thumbs up on yours with what it did.
I loved mine.
Um, I like
Yeah.
mine for the storytelling ability, and I
Yeah.
didn't think Rum's was too bad either.
Yeah.
I think it's because mine felt a little sniffly in the beginning. I was like, oh no.
Well, and maybe
Mom's
because
bad.
that's all we played. If we went longer, maybe you'd feel different.
Yeah, maybe I'd feel
How'd you feel
differently.
about the voices for each one?
Oh, I loved it.
It
Dude,
was
they sound
range.
like professionally. Yeah, you're
Right?
right. Let's talk about that for a second. The voices were good. The mixing of the audio was great. Like, these sounded very professional. I'm
Yeah.
very impressed.
I was so surprised.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was amazing. I didn't expect that.
I'm not a country
And
person,
the
so
kind of
if you were
things that work
talking
the
about the
best.
song fit, like I felt
Yeah.
for you two, the songs like. I mean, Amy only has time to put so many prompts in, whether she knew you really well or not. For somehow the
Mhm.
tunes landed correctly.
Yeah.
That was really amazing to me. For
Well, with the
me,
country, you heard all those harmonies kind of. It still was like
yeah, and
pop
oh
country,
yeah,
but yeah.
and it's still the story. It's still kind of the silly kind of personality that if I were in that situation at 20, I probably wouldn't have tried to sauce up Santa, but still, just
So
that whole ability,
listen,
the
the
story
reindeer
itself, and
are the reindeers are
carrots.
Yeah, you're
driving.
right. Yeah, you're
Santa's
right.
not driving.
I probably would have forgot them too for carrots. Probably just the cookies for Santa and I.
I
Sorry,
cannot
guys.
believe we're leaving healthy things for the reindeer. I had no idea that was part of
Well,
the
they can't
gig.
eat anything else. Well, they could, but you don't want them to get a
They
stomach ache
could.
over Germany or something.
I
Oh boy.
Yeah, that
what?
could
Is
be
it
messy.
raining?
Yeah,
Is
If
it
they get a bad stomach, yeah, maybe.
it might be raining.
Yeah.
The weather's not stopping.
Um, exactly. That's for sure. You wouldn't want that. Folks, remember to check out our podcast from your platform of choice. While you're in there, maybe give us a rating and review. You can check out the show, the audio vanity card that we throw on there. And also, you can find us as a show on YouTube. Fairly new doing that for followers out there. Thank you for followers of the podcast. Appreciate it. However you consume the show, we enjoy having you riding along with us. Rum?
Yep, we're talking accessible gaming now. We do this once a month with Markus McCracken, and today he has a guest, another familiar voice on the show. And the big question they're going to explore is console versus mobile gaming. Mobile gaming. And because we want to know if people have preferences, what really makes the decisions, and yeah, like the decisions around which kind of gaming you'd rather do. So Markus McCracken and Michael Feir are here. I think it's pretty obvious to us, at least, who's going to take which side here, but they're sharing their insights, their perspectives. There's a lot here to explore, guys. So, Markus, maybe let's start with you. What do you think goes into deciding which platform works best for you? And of course, we're kind of not always saying it outright, but there is disability to keep in mind here for blind and low
Right.
vision gamers.
Yeah, absolutely. For myself, because I've been gaming ever since the Nintendo Atari days, and
Mm-hmm.
with the site that I have, I prefer actual console gaming. Um, and because where I'm trying to go with accessibility and consulting, my first instinct was go back to console, leading to borrowing the cash for the Xbox and then majorly making an investment for the PS5. When it comes to mobile, though, my only game that I actually play is dice games. So that's my mobile preferences. So for me, it's always console, especially because I like the AAA games. I'm getting more into the indie games,
Mm-hmm.
but it is a huge decision, especially if you're limited on what you can actually play
Mhm.
On the console games itself.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you play your
I
dice
was
game?
Dice
Yeah,
World. Is that what you use?
Yes, Dice World.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. I'm curious before we move to Michael. So, is there an element though that because it's something you could play with your wife, you could, in some circumstances, or you guys have that. Did that come into your desire to be able to have access to these? I know some people, we talk about it in the blind world, you'll hear that person says, well, why does that sport need to be made accessible? I could just go do that, or I could do this. And it's almost like a bit of a chip on the shoulder about it, as opposed to, well, it's accessible hockey, it's this or that, it's what it is, so that more of us can play it in a fair way for us. Well, whereas a lot of people would like to do what the sighted folks do, what keep up with the Joneses, as they say. Marcus, did that come into play for yourself? Was there a level of that, maybe just to play with your wife?
Honestly, yes, because I've always, well, Kelly, going from WRS, we've always been brought up to mingle with the general public. So
Right.
that's always been there for me. If I'm able to play online with everybody in the world, I would do that in a heartbeat, but my site just never allowed me. The reflexes just wasn't there for like games like Call of Duty. So,
Yes.
not unfortunate. Fortunately enough for myself, my wife, I've actually turned into a gamer, and we completed a couple games together. Days Gone is my latest one. No accessibility really in there that can help me at all. So my wife got into that game, turned it into a co-pilot, and we managed to complete that. So for games like that, I'm getting into, and with the help of my wife Robin, we've succeeded in completing a lot of these games without the settings that I would require.
Okay. Niz, did you have something you wanted to throw in there?
Yeah. I lost my train of thought.
Sorry. Yeah, sorry. I heard you say
No, okay.
before. Ram,
No.
you?
And with this kind of stuff, I mean, what we're talking about with console gamings, yeah, it's unfortunately, to make some of these games really accessible, you have to change the game so much that it's no longer the same game.
Yeah.
The other thing is economics. I mean, you are spending, a small fortune on like getting a new console now, hundreds of dollars. You could easily go half a grand. And then you're spending more on the games. They're 40, 60 bucks sometimes each. And these aren't things you could just rent for a weekend and get your money's worth out of. These are big epic games that require hours and hours to finish and get good at.
Yeah.
It's basically, I view it as, okay, you're basically going on a cruise for entertainment. Like, I could do that, but then I wouldn't have anything left to eat for the rest of the year,
Right.
right? So that's
my.
what we're
Yeah.
looking at. So for me, mobile gaming is where it's at. They can,
But you can spend time, Mike, playing some of your mobile games you've discussed with us
yes,
at length, but it's
yeah.
the economic that for
It's
yourself, that's where. Okay.
Yeah, the economics is a big piece. Like, there were console games I would love to try, like that Last of Us 2, for example, made completely accessible for blind. But that's just one game.
Yeah, The
I've got
Last of
over
Us 1
100.
was so hard to make accessible.
I-
I
I've
was
got
stuck to the TV trying to figure it out.
and
When I mean stuck to the TV, I was standing right in front of the TV trying to
I was gonna
figure
say,
out how
like the
to. Yeah, you can
magnifying.
picture it.
Yeah. But I remember trying that with stuff that I was determined to memorize everything you needed to do to remotely function a game other than just mashing the keys, right? Or mashing the
and,
the
and
control.
this is
Mhm.
this is the thing. In some games, like there's this one fellow who beat Zelda, and he did
Right.
it by memorizing every single twitch and move you have to make and when exactly to hit the buttons. And he went online and got people to help him. Okay, where do I go when I'm here? What do I do next? And he was so
Snap.
desperate to do what everyone else was doing, but he had a completely different experience. That's not
You're talking
how
about a blind
Zelda.
person who beat Zelda?
Yeah,
Mhm.
yes, a
Oh,
blind person who
snap!
beat
By
Zelda.
memorizing the
That's
time
yeah,
cues.
that's like
Whoa.
memorizing the entire works of Shakespeare and be able to step in at any second, at any
Yeah.
moment of any of the plays. Like, incredible to have done, but it's work.
Guinness
And
That's
Book
not
it's
of Records
different
play.
stuff.
as you're expressing here. It's a different way of
It's
gaming. Like, are you really
yeah.
getting the
Like,
same
are
experience
you
as
getting
sighted
the
gamers?
fun out of this, or are you just
Mhm.
doing what everyone else is doing for the sake of that, right?
Okay,
So
but
for
Michael,
me,
do people consider the gaming that is designed, as I was saying to Marcus, the gaming that is designed specifically for the blind, whether it's a Dice World thing or Beat Baseball or whatever
Yeah.
game you're playing, is there pushback that, yeah, but those are only meant for you to play in your world? And is that a big deal? Who cares?
it's
Like, to me,
it,
who
it de-
cares if I want to play a game flicking my finger for an hour and a half, just going back and forth? If it's amusing me, who cares? It's not affecting someone
well,
else.
That's true. But then if you've gone through a game and it's a completely different experience, then you haven't really done what everyone
Hmm.
else has done. You've done something
Hmm.
different. So for me, with mobile games, I play all kinds of them. Six Ages, Ride Like the Wind. There's a game that was made for sighted people, but was made accessible to
Mm,
the point where they changed how you interface with the map to be able to, instead of having to deal with this big hex map of geography, you still make the core decisions of how far to explore and which direction. So you're still able to make the same kind of decisions. It doesn't break the actual experience of the game, right? I can, and but these console games are so epic in their assets and in their scope and real time. This
Right.
is real time stuff.
yeah.
So you to make that at all accessible, you have to change some things. You have to put in assets, like you have to put in triggers or audio warnings or something to tell you what's going on. There's an awful lot of information on that screen coming at you, and even through the sound if they have good sound design. So
Well,
it,
sound
it's
design is
how
a good
much.
place, actually. Because I'm
Yeah,
curious about, you're talking about like all the extra assets, right? All the things that we need to add to then modify the games to make it a different type of experience. But how about things like Mortal Kombat? Mortal Kombat's the first thing that comes to mind because the sound design is epic,
it's
but it is a
yes,
fighting game, right? It's a
Right.
combat
yeah.
game. So
So
you have people able to use positional audio or whatever the other kinds of
Like
audio is,
triggers, right? Is
to
that but they're
know.
triggers that are there, aren't they? Like they're meant to be in
Yes,
the
but
yeah,
game?
that's what I
yeah.
mean. So
With Mortal Kombat, there's
can you make the audio experience good enough that blind people, like Papa Sangre on the iPhone,
I,
right? Where
yeah,
Yeah.
blind people can experience it fully based on just the audio quality.
and with some
I could
games,
actually,
yes, you
sorry,
can do it.
I could actually
Mm,
speak on that. I just purchased it when it was on sale. Thank goodness. Mortal Kombat 1. They actually made that completely accessible for pretty much anybody.
right.
Audio cues, that's a different show, but just to give you a segment, like a teaser, you can have the audio cues on. So if you're going closer to the enemy, it'll go faster, like the beeping sound.
Mm,
And the farther you get, it slows down. So that whole game, and right to audio description for the cutscenes, because there's a story mode in there as well. That one's the first Mortal Kombat I've played in a long time where I did not really have to require on adapting it to the way I used to play it. I'm just utilizing the
yeah.
sound feedback. So far, I'm doing pretty good with that.
They've leaned right into the good audio, huh? With
Yeah,
Mortal
yeah.
Kombat. To try to make it accessible as well. Like, that's the thing. For me, if a blind person can play next to a sighted person the exact game and not many extra modifications, and you're having a similar experience, like you're in the battle zone, I'm in the battle zone, we're facing each other, and it's not really a cheat or an extra time thing for me to catch up with you, then it feels accessible. So that's why these audio games are so fantastic that Mike, you've talked about on many of our episodes, right? Like they're
Yeah,
fully
like
made accessible for blind people.
yeah, they're fully sound based, and the adaptations have been made so that everyone plays them on even terms. So
Exactly.
unfortunately, with some of these console games that are really complex, that gets really almost impossible to do because you
Sure.
have so much information, and even the atmosphere coming at you. Like in some of these shooter games, you have planes flying overhead, a whole bunch of stuff happening that is just
Mm,
there to add realism and immersion, and isn't really critical to the gameplay. But
But it's
you
o
know,
so it's oversaturation almost,
kind of,
overstimulation.
yeah, like
Yeah.
it's part of the whole process. For sighted people, that can work really well, but for us, if you
Mhm.
those if you add an extra plane flying overhead, that sound could mask other sounds that you
Mhm.
need to do what you need to do in the game. So there's all sorts of challenge like that in making a big epic
Well,
title
but there's
accessible.
applications like that, Mike, that are accidentally, if you wanna say, accessible. I mean, I'm sure
Oh
everyone here
yes.
has played something in their lifetime that, if you wanna say it boldly, is not meant for you to play due to your disability, due to your limitations, and you make
Mhm.
it work. Now, I'm not
mm,
talking learning Zelda inside out. I'm talking stuff that the manufacturer has made the game, you've sat down to play it, and for whatever reason, with all the things you're talking about, whether it's planes that fly over or timing that you learn in your head from playing around with it, hey, it seems to do this when it allows you to enjoy that game. I mean, I know that's accidentally, it's not necessarily made, but where Marcus, you guys are looking more for stuff to be specifically made, to be accessible. But I'm sure you've run into that. Like you said, you make it work like you just did.
Yeah, absolutely. Call of Duty, for instance, it's everybody knows Call of Duty.
Hmm.
So this year, Call of Duty 6, they've implemented a lot of accessibility settings for the campaign. It's hard to do when you're online, many reasons, which I kind of agree with. Um, but there's lots there. There might happen to be some more come out. But Steve Saylor actually had a chance to work with the team on developing a lot of the new accessibility in Call of Duty. So a franchise like Call of Duty over the years, from what I understand, has come a long way for that port. I actually just did a blog on that. But that game in particular, I started playing with my wife just because there's stuff that I know would help me, but it's not particularly there. So I'm
Mm.
getting my wife into war games with me just so I can finish the campaign and do a full recap of it. But
Nazreen,
big
have you ran
franchise,
into? Sorry, go
go
ahead,
ahead.
Marcus. Finish. I was
Big
just going to ask Nazreen if she's run into this, but you finish your thought there.
big franchise like Call of Duty, to make that step now and moving forward, I think it's going to go a long way for a lot of AAA titles in the future.
Okay.
Yeah,
N-
I've
And
always
Nazreen,
struggled
have you?
with Call of Duty when it comes to that. I'm at that point I just mash all the buttons because I
That's
don't know
Kelly's
how to
way.
make it accessible for me,
That's
especially when
Kelly.
I'm playing with my husband. Like uh, he goes far and beyond. He's really good at the game, right? So it's always a competition between him and I, and to make it accessible for me is really hard. Yeah, but
Did you find a
when it
game ever accidentally that you felt with your limitations that you could make work for you that you would now say isn't accessible, but for me because I could do it?
I think what Remy has said, Mortal Kombat, I felt like was nice, and I felt like
Yeah.
because they described their fights, their moves, so I didn't expect that when I played it. So that was nice, and now it's my go-to game.
I think it's pretty obvious, like, if you're a gamer of any kind, if you're a blind low vision gamer of any kind, you know what your go-tos are gonna be, right?
Yep.
Like,
Yeah,
the
exactly.
audio is
You're afraid
great
to
for
try.
combat games. Yeah, yeah.
I mean,
You're gonna play adventure
yeah.
games with a friend, you're gonna stay away from the sports games probably, like,
Oh my
I've
god,
never been able to look at,
don't get me started.
the NBA. Yeah,
Don't get
the
me
NBA
started.
or the MLS,
Marcus has
like
talked enough in here about playing hockey and stuff, so get
that's
out of here with
fair,
that.
but
I
it's
cannot.
only if they start making it properly
Well,
accessible, but I'm talking about, like, when you grow up and didn't have any of the accessibility built in. Now we can have way bigger conversations about this stuff, but as I was growing up, I had to say, like, "What's a high contrast, don't move around too much game? Okay, I'll take
mhm,
that Pikachu one."
yeah.
Yeah,
Right?
Hamza
Like,
always convinced me. He always begs me to play FIFA with him, and I can't. I
you can't.
cannot
Yeah.
play FIFA.
Yeah.
It's so
Try the
inaccessible.
show.
I
The
don't know how
baseball
to
one
make
you
it
might.
accessible.
Baseball you could probably do. He's probably not
Baseball, you're
interested in
definitely
it,
Yeah,
falling
but
asleep. It's basically
yeah.
background noise now. Yeah.
No, for you,
it's
but
background noise.
but they talk food, so there you go. Yeah, we'll get you
And
Yeah.
food. It's
this
like
is part
TV.
of
In the
the
games as well? Do I get to go out and
No,
get my hot dog in
no,
the
I'm
game? Oh,
teasing. Yeah, no, but
okay. Well,
you eat in front of the TV
that would make it more
constantly.
interesting. Thanks a lot.
Yeah, yeah. Go ahead, Mike.
The thing with these games too is because the stakes are so high with these console titles, like
Mhm.
some of them take millions to put together. Top talent in acting, sound design, orchestral score, everything, right? So
Mhm.
the stakes are so high that studios aren't as willing sometimes to put in the extra investment that some is necessary to make some of this stuff accessible. And then there's the breadth of games, the genres, right, that are accessible. You buy a console, if you're going to invest in that, you better know for a fact that you are going to really enjoy at least there'll probably only be like 2 or 3 games, maybe 10 at most for a console right now that would be really accessible. So you'd better really like those games.
Gonna
You know,
change
and
that, man. Marcus and them are gonna
yeah,
change it.
it's a chicken and egg problem. That will change eventually, but it will take
Mm.
time. Whereas mobile, experiments are happening. I've got a graphic adventure that up to like 5 years ago could never have been made accessible. Now it is. I've got a card game, Doncaster, that's 1,000 plus cards, and all of them it's fully accessible. I can play it just as well as anyone sighted can. So there are things there's more scope for maneuver and there's sort of more coming out for mobile right now. But that's what you have to weigh up when you think about what you want to invest the time and what kind of escape you need from games.
And that's where
Maybe
they're
that
at with mobile now, right? Like,
yeah,
and I think because that investment in screen readers, everything like that has just become hand in glove with mobile.
yeah, they've had a lot more, and it does a lot more than play games. So there's
Yeah.
that too. If you get a console, it's like going on a cruise. You'd better really enjoy that trip because you're going to have to wait a couple of months before you order your next pizza when you get back from it,
Right.
right? So that's kind of where we're at now with this stuff.
Yeah. Okay. Michael, thank you. Marcus, in closing, what do you have to say to sign out?
Just stay informed with your gaming, have fun gaming, and I've got lots
Mhm.
planned for the new year. So stay tuned to Kelly and
We're
Nice.
Company for that.
excited.
Awesome. Amuthan.
Um,
Say goodbye to the nice
yeah.
guys.
See you guys. Talk to you in the new year.
All right, we'll see you soon.
You know, I was contemplating whether to ask either of you or not if you've played the Star Wars. Oh, but I can't remember the name of
But
it.
then
That's
the
why I didn't bring it
problem
up.
is that if she does that, she takes time from eating.
Yeah, BRB, guys.
Mm.
I'll ask you in January when I figure out the game's name. Anyways, Michael Fair, Markus McCracken, talking accessible gaming very patiently with us, of course, and lots of great points, as everyone has said, to talk about mobile versus console gaming and things to think about. And Michael especially wanted to reiterate that it is expensive. It's very expensive to game these days.
It
Man, I
is.
love
It
that.
really
I love
is.
that showdown. And I love, Nazreen, about you talking about how you were determined to make it work, climbing practically into the TV to say, no, no, guys, play the game this way. Let's go on here.
So
Nazreen,
relatable.
like,
So
come
Hamza
on.
will be
relatable.
sitting on the couch comfortably with his legs
Oh my gosh.
up and all
Yes.
comfortable under the blanket and whatever, and I'm just
And
stuck
you're
to
just
the
like standing
TV,
in front
just
of the
like
Nazreen's up there like it's a Wii. She's doing the
like
boxing game. Go
I
crazy.
I
could
don't think
never
you
game
guys this
I
is
could never
so
game in
real.
real time with another person. Like if we were facing each other in
Oh,
something, I couldn't because I would take up
oh,
the entirety of the TV. Like
yep.
the
That's
surface
literally
area
it. He
visually would be
complains
me.
about it, and I'm like, "You shouldn't complain. You have nothing to complain about here.
At least
You're
you can
sitting
see
comfortably on the
Hamza.
couch.
Gosh.
At
That's
least you
right.
can see."
That's right. And at least
Yeah.
you can not mind losing as I block the set and you can't play anyway. Ha! Well,
These
I'll
people
play
Yeah,
want to
for
be
you.
this way. Yeah, I know.
Uh,
exactly.
check
The
us out,
struggle
folks.
Oh
You
well.
is
can
real.
you can follow us on Instagram and Twitter at Kelly and Co. AMI, ladies and gentlemen, on Twitter and Instagram. Okay, bring it on. Here comes Mary Mammoliti with all the goodies as she joins us every week on the program. It's Chef Mary Mammoliti. We're doing a holiday taste test today on the program. Mary, have you started the holiday festivities with the fast food items that are out there? And you kind of wanted to bring along some of that fun to the program. And we're starting today with Timmy Hortons. Welcome back.
It's great to be back. And
Have you,
we are starting off the phone with Tim Hortons today.
yeah. Have you tried
I'm
some of the others,
prepping.
though,
I'm
Mary,
prepping my
that are
taste
out there?
testing. Keep talking.
Sorry, what was that, Kelly?
Have you tried some of the other fast food offerings that are out there that you might want to give a shout out to?
You know what? I just started. We went to the outdoor market in Alora, so the Christmas market,
Oh, yeah, yeah.
and it's not really Christmassy, but I did have a hot chocolate and a hot dog.
Nice.
Oh, did you say
Odd
a hot
mix, but
dog?
it worked.
At the
Hot
I
dog.
market.
might not have it in
Yeah.
the games, but shout
Yeah.
out.
Yeah.
How was the hot chocolate?
The hot chocolate was fantastic.
Mm,
It just everything about it. I mean, anything with marshmallows for me, it works. It works.
Mm-hmm.
agreed.
I used to love it when you were cold, tobogganing or whatever. You'd come in and there was hot chocolate sitting there waiting for
Yeah.
you. Oh man, it was just so wintry. So, and it I don't care. In February, it still made it feel like Christmas. It just did. It
It
didn't
does,
matter.
and
It was
every
just that.
time you take that sip of that hot chocolate, doesn't it just take you back to that?
Yeah.
I
Oh,
mean,
for
for
That's
me,
sure.
it
literally
does.
it. Yes, me too. We used to sleep over with all my cousins, and guys, I have so many cousins. We used to have like those big sleepovers. We'd go sledding, and my face would freeze, my hands would freeze, my legs would freeze. We'd come
Yes.
home, cover the floor with snow, and that's fine. And the first thing we'd have is hot chocolate, and that's what I
Yep.
remember every sip I take now.
Oh, trying to get out of your snowsuit, falling all over the place just to get to a hot
Yeah.
chocolate.
Oh
And
my
at
God.
W. Ross, as Marcus was mentioning in the blind school earlier, they used to have this huge container with a stiven on it, and you just put your cup under there and crank
Mhm.
out. So, I mean, I'd hate to have tested our sugars after that, because cup after cup after cup of boiling hot chocolate, that
Oh
you'd get
my.
that hot chocolate burn on your tongue. But it was
Well,
just so wonderful. Oh,
I'm not gonna wanna test my sugars after today because I've
no.
actually set up in the
Nope.
kitchen today. Not in my my
Yay.
office, not in my stooping. I set up in the
Yeah.
kitchen because of all the treats that we're ready to taste test here. And
All right.
Let's
honestly,
go.
I'm
Okay,
probably
what
gonna
did
have
you
to go
get?
do a
Did
lap
you go
around the block.
ham?
So
Did
I
you?
went and
Yeah,
I could not choose, so I got the cream Bailey's coffee,
me too.
Mm.
the Bailey's cream coffee. I
Mhm.
got the white chocolate candy cane hot chocolate.
Oh,
Oh, okay.
okay.
Yes,
That's
never
yep.
tried it.
I
Mhm.
tried
And
it. It's
then
really good.
is it?
Okay.
Okay. I
Yeah.
haven't tried anything. I poured them into some mugs. I have
Right.
not one, not two, but 3 of the Boston cream Bailey's donuts in front of me.
Shut up. All
Never
for
mind,
you?
Frank. Never mind, Frank. Has he tried to rescue one yet? And you've said, "Get out of here. We're working."
He's like, he's like, "Well, what time is the segment?" I'm like, "Not yet."
When the donuts are gone, Frank, is the segment.
He's waiting
Okay.
so nicely.
I suggest we try the donuts.
Is
Is
that
that
all,
what I said?
Mary? Wait,
Well,
just want to know
yeah,
if she's
well,
gonna do
I'm
yours.
not gonna tell you what's on the side hidden.
Yeah.
Oh,
But
okay.
that's
Mm.
not part of the
Okay, because
test,
I
right?
got
No.
the Kelly and Nisreen before the show were rolling their eyes at me because I couldn't choose either. I got the coffee that you got, but I also got the hot chocolate, and
Okay.
along with the Boston cream donut, or what did you call it again?
The
Boston
Bailey's
Dream,
Boston
Bailey's
Bailey's
cream.
Boston
Cream.
cream,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dream
Bailey.
donut.
Isn't the cream dream? Yeah.
There was that other
cream cheese.
double brownie stuffed donut that sounded really good, so I got that as well.
Ugh.
So I was instructed, Mary, to stick to the Bailey stuff.
Yeah,
Cheaters.
but
Yes.
no, not cheaters.
Mhm.
You just can't
That's what
resist.
we were told to do.
We love giving our
And
money
I
away to
thought we were
Tim
going to have a
Hortons.
variety of the Bailey's
I'm with you,
related drinks.
Kels.
Yeah. All right.
Well, I mean,
Doesn't
we
matter. I'll
stuck to
eat
the
it.
Bailey's. We just
We
added a little
tried.
extra.
We
I
started
have a
Yeah,
little
okay, but
sour
we're only
cream
took
gonna
glazed
initiative.
donut on the side.
but we're only gonna judge on the Bailey's donut first,
So
correct?
yeah,
Yes.
I got the Bailey's Boston cream donut as well
too.
as the Bailey's ice cap.
Ooh,
with
okay. What are we
2%
tasting
Yeah.
first?
instead
What's
of
happening?
cream.
We
What are
can
we
try
tasting
the
first?
donut
Donut?
first. Kelly
Yeah,
says
let's
we
try
should
the
try the
donut.
donuts because that's the
I
common
think so.
denominator.
That's right.
Okay. Let's do it.
Okay. I brought a knife
Ready?
to the party here to cut myself a piece.
Oh,
Only
I thought you were
because
gonna get into a
Man,
fight with
you've
someone.
done this before. You know you're amongst the chef when.
I thought Mary was gonna get into a fight. I thought she said, "I brought a knife to a gun party." I thought that's what she was gonna say. All right, so here's my donut up here. I'll give it a
Okay.
shot.
Oh
Okay.
my.
So what do we have?
Okay.
Chocolate filled with custard.
Bailey's custard?
Mhm.
Oh, by the way, this is all
Mhm.
non-alcoholic, if people are wondering.
Mhm.
Yeah, and sprinkles on the top.
Something on the top. It's really pretty on the top. I feel like there's
Okay.
caramel in this, right?
On the top, the sprinkles are actually, it looks like shaved chocolate to
Mhm.
me. I mean, that's what I get from it.
Definitely
Shaved
is.
chocolate
But
and white
something else hits you
chocolate.
right away after, which feels like caramel.
Okay, can I say something?
Mhm.
I'm not a fan of Boston cream donuts, but I'm
What?
really liking this.
You like it?
Nor
I didn't even
mine.
get to the
Yeah.
cream part yet. I'm worried
It's
it's gonna
Oh,
it's the
really?
shaved
spill all
chocolates
over.
on top,
It's not
the
what
shaved
individual.
sprinkled chocolates. I think that's
That's
what
what does
puts
it
it
for
all
me.
together. That's what does
Yeah.
it for me too.
And I
But
think it's
there's a
because with the other Boston cream, I'm not a big fan of that custard in the center.
Me too.
right.
I
So
I
what
So
is
rather
in this?
cream
Because I don't
filled.
even think I've gotten to the cream. I've taken like
And
4 bites.
you sure
Me
you got the
too.
right donut?
I hope so. It
Me
doesn't
too.
have a
I
hole
Maybe
didn't
in
you're
the
even
eating
see
middle,
the
your
right?
custard
brownie.
part.
I'm gonna
Yeah.
rip mine in half. Because I
Oh, no, don't. It's messy. If you have the
I'm
right one.
hoping. Oh, okay. Okay, I'm getting to the cream. Wow.
Are you getting it?
They only put the cream like right in the center.
Me
Oh,
too.
not mine.
Me
Mine
too.
was
I'm like
nice,
half.
guys.
I
No,
still
got the
Kelly and
wrong-
didn't
I,
get
we
the
got it.
custard part.
Oh
They
man, you got
have a
the
lot
wrong
of
Tim
real estate
Hortons.
covered in
Wait,
mine.
Nisreen and I are
Oh.
taking like dainty bites because we're on TV or YouTube.
Well, so am
Mhm.
We're
I.
trying to be
Well, no, I put
proper.
it in front of
Oh,
me
I
so I
like
can
it.
hide. I put it in front of me so I can hide behind it while I'm eating,
We're
so
trying
it
to be
doesn't look so
posh.
That's
messy.
smart.
Well,
Actually,
And
there's
and
nothing
I'm
dainty
like
about
this.
me, so I'm just shoving it in.
Mary's eating the whole thing. Kelly's sitting there saying, "I'll have some in a little while." No,
I do
no.
like this though. I agree with you
Me
guys.
too.
Okay, can I take a sip of my drink now? Because this is the
And
first
I
thing
no,
I've
no,
eaten
not
this
quite.
donut.
Hold on a
Yeah.
sec. You can go
Oh,
first, but
okay.
you go first. But I'm not a big Bailey's person. I will admit that. And this stuff is
Okay.
great.
Wow.
I don't think I'm getting a lot of Baileys, and I think that's why. Like,
That's
what are you
probably
guys
why I
getting
like
more
it.
of?
The caramel.
Mm.
It's too caramelly for
Yeah.
me.
Isn't that Bailey's?
Yeah. I liked the chocolate. No.
To me,
The Baileys should be
Bailey's.
the stuff in the center.
Really?
Yeah.
Because I
Yeah.
thought that was all Bailey's.
supposed to be
Okay,
I
So
don't
you're
think
getting
so.
Baileys. Okay.
that's what I feel it is. But I'm not a huge Bailey person in that sense. I've never been. But this is amazing.
Mm.
But then you go mentioning caramel, and oh, hold it, maybe.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
now
Rum,
you're getting the
It's very
caramel.
rum. You want to try your beverage?
okay. I'm gonna try it. So I just got the Bailey's cream coffee or dream coffee. Mary, what is it? Which one is it?
I think it's Dream Coffee.
And I
I
put
think
it in
it's
a cute
Dream
little mug
Coffee.
because I wanted to use the little mug.
Oh,
Anyway,
that's a cute mug.
Nasreen, I just wanted to say I tried the ice cap before. That tasted very Bailey's compared to this donut. So
Really?
I'm curious when you try.
Can I ask you to sniff this coffee too before you sip it?
It sniffs. Yeah, it smells like Bailey's. It's very
See, I
nice.
found the donut. I
Yeah.
have no hint of Bailey sniffing it. So,
Yeah,
but
but
the
the
beverage
coffee
is
itself. Okay, so the coffee's nice actually.
mhm.
This is probably my favorite Tim Hortons coffee because I am not a fan of Tim Hortons coffee.
Is it creamy?
Mm-hmm.
Huh.
It's thick, but there's absolutely no sugar. It just tastes like a thick cup of coffee, like a creamy cup
Okay.
of coffee.
Ooh.
That's
Okay.
nice.
Nisreen, what do
It
you
does
have?
sound nice.
What do you
I
got there,
have
Nisreen? You
the
got the
Bailey's ice cap,
okay. You want to go
and
next?
yeah, so I do smell a lot of Bailey's. Like the smell of it,
You got
just
it with
from
the
off
whipped
the
cream on
top.
top, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Mm. So the first sip was a little shock, but wait,
Is it
guys,
good
I'm
though? A
used
good
to.
shock?
It's good. It's good because no, the first time I was like, oh my god, that's sweet, because I'm used to black coffee.
Yeah, me
Right.
too.
Period.
Right.
I
Yeah.
barely have any ice caps, so to have such a sweet drink is like a bit
First
of a
sip.
shock, but it actually tastes good.
Okay.
I'm
All
shocked.
right. I'm gonna give mine a kick, Mare, before you give yours, because I'm curious. I'm gonna sniff this. Oh my goodness, do I ever smell Bailey's? If I didn't know any better, I'd hey
You
man,
got the
who
hot
tainted
chocolate,
this?
right?
Yes, I
Yeah.
have the hot chocolate.
Mm-hmm.
Mm. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Did you
Very
burn your
potent.
tongue?
No, it's good. But
Because we've been waiting for an hour.
yeah, exactly. The heat of the strength of it is really something. It's very creamy, nice hot chocolate, and I can tell you, I hardly drink hot chocolate because I stay away from the sugars and stuff like that generally,
Mm.
and that's a keeper.
Mhm.
I can imagine when this is really hot. Oh,
And you'd love
and
it.
if you like your
Decadent?
Baileys, yeah, it's very decadent.
Now I need
It,
to know: is it as sweet as the regular Tim Hortons hot chocolate? Because those are
Yeah.
I
sweet.
think it's sweeter. I think it's probably a bit sweeter.
Whoa!
Yeah, I think
I
it's
think
probably a bit sweeter.
Whoa!
I think the white
My.
chocolate candy cane that Mary has is gonna be
Yes.
sweeter.
Yeah. Okay, Mare,
Okay, let's
your
see.
turn.
It's your turn.
Okay.
If
What
you're
are you
not done
having?
your third donut.
Yeah, wait, what? Yeah. What's been happening?
She
She's
has
been
the
silent
candy
over
cane
there.
hot
Mary, is everything
chocolate.
okay?
I've been
Mary's
I've been letting everyone do their thing, test it out.
Mary's saying, "Hurry up, man! I got other stuff off camera here. I got to get to."
I'm like, I've got 2 other donuts in front of me. So I've got the white candy cane hot chocolate.
Okay.
Mm.
Honestly, when I sniff it right off the bat, I'm getting the white chocolate.
Oh,
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, not even the
more
candy
than the
cane yet.
mint. More than mint. More than the mint.
That's
Wow.
that's a
When I
blessing if you
smell
ask
the
me.
candy cane
Me
hot
too.
chocolate, I smell Christmas. I smell like
Yeah.
like
Aw,
I'd rather. I'm not a
that's
big mint
sweet.
fan. I'd rather smell
Me
the wrapping.
neither.
Now
Okay,
watch
tell
Mary
us.
spit it all over.
Okay. White chocolate immediately when I smell it. When I taste it, this is now my second or third taste. That's when you get that the candy cane.
Huh.
Is it
And
just a
it's
hint?
definitely
Mm.
sweet. So if you have a
Oh,
sweet tooth, this is for you.
yeah.
okay.
It's a little too sweet for my liking.
Right.
Just because I don't like overly sweet. I like a little
Agreed.
balance.
Agreed.
Maybe a little maybe pinch of salt in here would kind of balance it out a little bit.
Yeah.
But
That's an idea. Because candy
Look at
cane
you
has its own
customizing it.
because
Yeah.
candy cane has its own taste versus mint. Like it's not just, oh, it's mint, it's candy cane. Candy cane obviously
Exactly.
has its
fair.
own in there.
Yeah,
So
it's
do you
also some
taste
extra
candy
sugar.
cane, Mayor, or do you more taste
I
mint?
do. I definitely taste
Wow.
that candy cane. Like it's like that peppermint kind of thing to it. But it's subtle.
Awesome.
It's not in your
Okay.
face. Like it's not right for like it doesn't overpower everything.
Mary, I have a question for you. I've seen this in the movies, okay? They add salt to their hot chocolates.
Yes,
Does it
And their
actually
chocolate
make a big
milks.
difference? Or their chocolate
it
milks,
does.
yeah.
I mean, we're not talking a lot of salt. Definitely a tiny pinch of
Like
it.
a pinch. Yeah.
But it does. It does make a difference. It's all on your taste buds. It's all on what you
I have
want
yet
to
to
come
try it.
forward. So for me, I would definitely do that with this one. The coffee, Rummy, I got the same coffee as you.
Mm-hmm.
That I am not a flavored coffee drinker.
Yep.
Okay.
Mhm.
Not a
So
fan.
for me, but I could do it. But for me, this one here, it's almost got like the flavoring to me is almost like an extract. Like if you're
Like a
baking and you're
syrup.
using like a
But
vanilla
without the
or an
sugar.
Yeah, like
almond
a syrup
extract.
almost like or is it not quite that strong? But
There's
It's
no
not
sugar
quite like
though.
a syrup. So it's
yeah.
like
Mhm.
a vanilla extract can be made from, let's say, vodka, I think it is. And
Right.
you
Yeah.
you have the vanilla beans soaking in it over time.
Yeah.
No one quote me on that recipe because I really don't know 100%, but it's that type of taste. So if you ever come across and you're going to bake, taste a little bit of that vanilla.
Mm.
Just on your finger, just taste a little bit of it. That's what I get from this. It's
Yeah,
almost
that's
like
fair.
that
And not enough
extract kind
coffee.
of flavoring.
But is it
My
strong,
further
ladies? Like
commentary is no, not enough coffee
no?
at all. This is like such a light roast. If
No.
you're used to Tim Hortons
Ah.
coffee,
Yes.
especially like their darker medium roast, this
Yep.
is
Yes.
barely the
This
flavor
is
is
very
coming from the Baileys or almost from the smell of it
from
more
Uh-huh.
than
whatever
the taste of
flavoring
the
they've put
coffee.
into it is
Yeah.
what we're
Yeah.
getting.
Also, I'm
Which
trying
you're
the same.
exactly, you're right. It mellows that
Yeah,
coffee bean, that coffee kind of
1000%.
finish you get from the Tim Hortons coffee.
Yeah,
If you're not a fan
I'm
of it,
sure you
but
can
I
have
mean,
a.
I don't mind Tim Hortons coffee.
No,
I
me
don't mind
neither.
coffee,
Yeah.
period.
Yeah.
I love coffee.
Yeah. Yeah, and
So
I
for
like it
me,
black. So it's interesting our takes on it, and that's where I'd stop and say, "Oh, maybe not," because I generally don't do those kind of things. Milk gets the flavoring. Ladies,
yeah.
thank you.
Kelly,
You guys,
your hot chocolate is way too sweet. I'm just
yeah,
tried it.
it's incredibly sweet, right?
Yeah.
But for once in a while, ladies, you will do this again next week on the program when Mary's back, and they'll be working on the second holiday taste test with homemade treats. So everybody, look forward to that. Mary, thank you. Nisreen,
Thank
thank
you.
you. Ramya,
Thank you.
thank you. Folks, you can email us at kellyco@ami.ca. And you can call us 1-866-509-4545. Check us out on AMI Audio, Podcast, and on YouTube. On the next show, TV guy Greg David is back with his top TV show picks of 2024. Lots to choose from. But, of course, Greg has his top 2. And we'll find out how come they beat out everything else. Fedora's off to you, folks. And for once in a while, I don't get to do this, a toast to you as well.
Thanks for tuning in to Kelly and Company. Follow us on all social media and don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel for more.